Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be your instructor for CS210. It's the 3++ or C++ programming class, and you're going to be using a platform called Zybooks, which really does a very good job of explaining things. There are certain things that may be a little bit confusing to you, and that's what I'm here for. So I want to first introduce myself and a little bit about my background. Not the background that you see behind me. I am a person that has many books, and I teach several different classes, and I don't seem to ever have enough space to put all my books, so they just lay on tables over here, which does drive my wife a little bit crazy, but she deals with it. So first of all, my name is Richard Foster, and I was born in Queens, one of the five boroughs of New York City, and lived there my whole life until it got a little bit too cold for my liking. And finally, since my entire family moved to Florida, I did as well. So that really was a good move on my part, except now that I whine every time the temperature goes below 70 degrees. Right now it's 82 outside and very sunny. I live about a mile from the beach, so it's very easy for me to get to the beach anytime that I want. As far as my background, I actually have a degree in math, not computer science or anything like that. Math was something I was always good at, and while I went to college, I worked my way through it as working in a supermarket, and I eventually got promoted to a department head and then went into management. So then when I finally moved down to Florida, I still had no interest in computers, but I was managing a supermarket, and then all of a sudden I just got the bug to start learning a little bit about computers. So I picked up a small one, and I went to grad school at Florida International University and took up programming for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And then I went to become a full-time programmer. So while I was doing that, I wrote a lot of programs, made a lot of contacts, but my ADD kicked in. I don't know what they call it these days, and I don't know if I even have it, but I am not normally able to sit still for a very long time. And since they requested me to sit at a desk all day long and program, it got a little bit challenging. So what you see me is the real me. If I am not teaching an in-person class, I am in sweatpants and a Yankee t-shirt. Growing up in New York, I actually was a Met fan, which of course makes sense because that's Queens. That's where I was born. But I had the privilege of spending 2 years working out with the Yankees while I was in college. So I, of course, became a Yankee fan, but I still like the Mets as well in there. And that's kind of unheard of. But since I don't live in New York anymore, I can get away with it in here. So, as far as this class is concerned, it is fully online. But that doesn't mean I am not unavailable for you. I'll be doing a series of videos for you. And if necessary, I can work in a Zoom meeting with you to address some of the things. Because as you get through with Zybooks, you're going to see that it teaches you the basics, the fundamentals, but it doesn't normally teach you all the good programming aspects in there. So I'm going to do my best to make as many videos as I can to teach you the good programming aspects. Now, you do get graded by the rubric in there, but the rubric sometimes is unclear. So the activities that I will be grading, I will make sure that there is announcement in there and, if possible, a video that says exactly what I expect. For instance, the first lab graded assignment in Chapter 2 talks about getting car mileage based upon certain criteria, but they do not recommend that you put in a prompt to tell the user what to do. In fact, if you do put in a prompt and you submit it to Zybooks, when they grade it, what will happen is it may mark you down. So when you submit it to me and I run the program, I look at a blank screen. So I'm going to request that the final thing that you submit will have C out where it says enter the miles per gallon or enter this or that, so the user knows how to do it. You will have an announcement that clarifies that, and I'm going to do my best to make a video for each and every activity that you turn in. So there should hopefully be no misunderstanding. I also want to emphasize that all grades are disputable that I give. Grading a C++ program sometimes is a little challenging, as there's never just one way to do something. There are 10 different ways to do something in there, and some are efficient, some are not efficient, some work, some don't work. So I want you to make sure that you feel comfortable. If you feel that you got a grade that maybe you should have got a little bit higher on and you would like more information on it, of course, please feel free to email me and just say, listen, can you look at this? Tell me why. Make sure that you, number one, tell me what class you're in, because I'm teaching 2 sections of this class, and also to please make sure that you tell me the programming assignment in there and why you feel you should have got a higher grade. And my goal is to make sure that you get the most accurate grade as humanly possible. So other than that, my background from programming, I went into private consulting where I would build computers for individuals. I would build networks and install servers. I would do cabling if I had to, which I really did not like to do. I also did customized programming for businesses that needed something in there. So I kept myself busy. But then I got called to be an IT director in Christian education, which I've been blessed to have done for 25 years. And it was one of the best decisions that I ever made. Not financially, but working in a Christian environment is always a blessing in there. So regardless of your faith, it was a blessing to me. So what I want to address here is that after 25 years, I left that job in here and said, I want to concentrate full-time or as many classes as I can in just doing what I do most to love, and that is actually teaching. So that's why I'm so excited to be here. A little bit about my musical background. I've been playing the piano since I was 8 years old. My grandmother taught me. She used to play the piano professionally in the movies, and so she taught me. She passed on, unfortunately, but my true love was playing the organ, which I grew up going to Radio City Music Hall all the time with seeing the Rockettes, and they always had the big fancy Wurlitzer organ in there, and it was just something that I always fell in love with big fancy organs. So I was blessed in my sophomore year of college to have a neighbor that also was a professional organ player, and he was able to give me organ lessons. So I've been playing the organ ever since I was 19, and I'm now blessed to be our church's organist. So I really truly love it. I get an opportunity to write a lot of my own music. I also write music for our orchestra and for the piano. So it's really something I truly get to enjoy. And if you enjoy doing what you're doing, it's certainly not any kind of work. So enough about me. I just want to tell you that I will be setting up a WhatsApp chat where you can get a hold of me fairly easy. It's not required that you join it, but it's an easy way for you to say, I'm having a trouble with this. What do we have to do for this? And you should get a response normally within 5 minutes. Of course, if I'm teaching, I teach several classes that are in person, so obviously I can't answer you then. Or if you text me at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, there's not much chance that you're going to get an answer until the next morning, but you will get one. And there. So rest assured that I have no problem with you sending a message that late. Just please don't expect that you'll get a response until the next morning, but you will. So that's a good way to get a hold of me. But also the most important thing is to communicate with me, because I don't know anything about you. I will find some things out about you in our first discussion, which I see some I've already done, and that's awesome. And that gives me a little bit of an opportunity to get to know you, and please let me know exactly what you need, any problems that you're having, things that you don't understand. But what I want to show you lastly is I have a YouTube channel. I teach programming for several different universities, so they're kind of all mixed together, but I'm starting a CS210 channel. And it only has 2 videos in it, and one of them really belongs to IT 312. So let me show you that video right now. So here is all the different playlists I have. This is general for C++. Then this is a SNU IT 200 class. This is for IT 312, the gaming in here. And then there's different things. The reason why I have so many is so that people will get exposed to different items. So you can see this IT 301 probably has the most how-to videos in it. So I'm going to show you that one here. And you can see so many different items here. This is just an introduction on C++, foldings, functions, how to do a grading program, strings, how to set up the final project. This is for Barry University in Miami, Florida. How to calculate payroll, and how to do a sum of numbers, a fencing assignment, and so on. It just goes on and on and on and on. So we'll go back to my playlist, and you can see that there are many, many, many different things that hopefully will be for your benefit. So let's go to our CS. Well, here's a C++ one as well. And you can see this is something that you definitely want to look at, because it's got best practices and naming conventions. So this is kind of a one-size-fits-all. Now, we don't have specific rules in this class about how to do things, but I'm going to make a video just strictly, and I will actually probably post this best practices here. And what that's going to address is the proper way to declare and initialize variables. Remember that when you start going through C++ book, you're going to start seeing that you can do things that are legal, but just because it's legal doesn't mean it's good. One of the things that I use as an example is when you're driving in the Florida Turnpike, the speed limit's either 65 or 70, depending where you are. Well, if you're driving 70 miles an hour, then you are driving legally. However, if you're driving 70 miles an hour and it's pouring down rain, it's really not in the best interest. And the reason being is it's going to increase the chances of something happening. Whereas the same thing with C++. A lot of the things that I address may not make a lot of sense. Why do we need to do this? But the bottom line is the most important thing is for you to get the program correct. So I address things like why you should initialize every variable, why you should declare variables on separate lines, why you should never get more than one variable input on the same line in there, even though it's legal. The cause of user error is a lot more possible in there. So you can see all these different ones that I have. So I will go back to the CS210, which really should only have 2 videos in it. And this is a activity on how to, and this is actually something for a different class. So you'll see a whole bunch of videos in here coming up, as well as this video here as well. So I emphasize it's important that you do several things. Number one, every week look at my announcements. I spend a lot of time creating announcements that are relevant to the activities for the week, reminders and things of that nature that will be very helpful for you. I highly recommend that you look at them, and that will help you get good grades in there. And I also highly recommend that you join the WhatsApp chat. I also recommend that you watch any videos that I create. And most important, I hope that you communicate with me and let me know any issues that you're having or something that you would like me to cover. So that is it for now. I am back in here, and you can see my well-organized office, but it does meet my need, and I really like it. So looking forward to a great class. Please feel free to let me know what you think. All the videos that I make, please feel free to post a comment and let me know, and I'll do my best to get better and better and better as I create videos. So with it, have a wonderful day. It is Thursday on February 23rd, and our first class starts on Monday, which is exciting. So looking forward to hearing from you and hopefully getting to know many of you. If you are a veteran, please let me know, and thank you for your service. If you are a first responder or a nurse, again, please let me know, and thank you for your hard work and dedication and service in there. And as always, please stay safe and let me know if there's anything I can do to assist you in your quest to get an A. Hopefully everybody gets an A. Have a wonderful day, upcoming weekend. Hope wherever you are, the weather is warm or warming up. I know that it will be warm here. It's supposed to be 90 tomorrow. So if you are in the 20s, I understand there's some bad storms. Dress warm, and that's all I can say. I will be dressed like this, but most important, stay safe and have a blessed day.